والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. For me, the masjid has literally been like my little brother. It has grown up in front of me. I remember when we didn't even have a place to pray, then a bunch of parents leased a home together, or they bought a scrappy little space in a strip mall. And he wasn't pretty when he was born, but he was all ours. And he confused the neighbors for a while because, let's be honest, he wasn't really born in the best neighborhood. There was only one restroom, and I remember even making wudu from a garden hose. We had family nights. Eventually, we got a Sunday school. Overall, he was a good kid. And when the word got out, then the Muslims came from all over to see him. MashaAllah, he was growing up, my little masjid. The parents raised some money and they got some land. And then they made a building, and we were so proud of my little brother. And he got a new carpet and a shiny new speaker system. And then he got a fancy chandelier and a shiny new dome. And then he left his parents and he found a shiny new board. And the old Hafiz Saab that used to lead the prayers got replaced with a shiny new imam. And like all little brothers, the masjid kept growing. Alhamdulillah, that's a good thing. And every time he grew a little, he got more thirsty. He kept asking for more money. And he wanted a new parking lot. Fine, $50,000. He wanted some classrooms. $30,000. He wanted a library. I don't know, no one really reads anymore. Come on, akhi, do it for the kids. Okay, fine, $5,000. And he wanted Japanese toilets with a bidet and a heated seats. No. But at least, can I have some marble for the foyer? Okay, I can get you some marble. And he wanted an industrial kitchen. For what? Akhi, for Ramadan, for the blessed month of Ramadan. Okay, fine, we'll get you an industrial kitchen. No, thank you. Now take your smelly food outside. I don't want you staining my Italian marble. My little brother had somewhat of an attitude. And he's a good-looking fellow with a great heart, but he's a little cold and impersonal. And I didn't feel like visiting that much anymore. I felt unmosqued. I feel unmosqued. I still fast and I pray, but I don't feel connected to any specific masjid. And if I can walk into a mosque, if I can join the congregational prayers and come out of the masjid without having said a single word to anybody there, then what was the point of my having gone? When I pray with some friends, at least they ask me, how was my day? How are my kids? How's my family? Would I like some coffee? There must be thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are emotionally and physically disengaging from their Muslim communities. Remosqued is an attempt to simply build a conversation. What can we do to make the masajid more relevant? Not just for ourselves, but for the whole Muslim community. For the youngest members of our Muslim community, for the 20-somethings, for the 30-somethings, for all of the unmosqued. What can we do to make the masajid more relevant, more welcoming, more friendly, more open, more transparent, or dare I say, more fun? What does good look like? So I wanted to share 4 best practices for Muslim communities. There's a tiny church at the corner of County Road 29 and Dawes Road that has approximately 100 members. But it offers a life cycle of services. Everything from how to find a spouse to second marriage counseling. They have weekly spaghetti dinners for the neighbors. They have book clubs. They host a local Boy Scout troop, 183. And every single day, every single evening, this church in a relatively poor area of a poor state, they have something going on. And they don't have money. They have something much more valuable. They have infrastructure. We are facing huge storms on the horizon. No one would disagree that divorce is a problem in our Muslim communities, that drugs are a problem in our Muslim communities, that pornography is a problem, that marginalization of Islam is a problem. Domestic violence is a problem, yet we are stuck on when we should celebrate Eid. Our solutions are our weekly potluck dinners and more speeches. There are more Qur'ans at our masajid than people. So let's stop building bookshelves. Let's stop building shoe racks. Shoe racks are not the problem. Restrooms are not the problem. Well, restrooms are a small problem. And parking is not the problem. Structure is not the problem. Infrastructure is our problem. Number 2, at the corner of Westheimer and Eldridge, it's a nice intersection. There's a panhandler who's almost always there. He's a big fella and he otherwise looks healthy. He's always begging for money. And he seems to have so much potential, but he's not asking for a job or a shower. All he ever wants is money. And sadly, every time I see this guy, I'm reminded of our masjid. It's always thirsty for money. There's always somebody at the door when you come in or when you leave that's, please give fi sabilillah. Please give to the masjid sadaqah fi sabilillah. It's a major cost center to the tune of $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 or more per month. And the masajid can't wait for Ramadan because that's when they do their best begging. We've been doing that for 20 years now. It's like it's the only revenue model that we know of, begging. And I'm not anti-dome or anti-minaret, but show me your sustainability plan. You think that you're building a sadaqah jariyah that's going to last for generations, hundreds of years. You're building a debt, and you're handing it to me. So the best practice is to turn this cost center into a revenue stream. If you get $100,000 today, please consider investing it. Buy a strip mall, start a business, start an endowment. Please don't build a swimming pool. You know who you are. For every $5,000 of monthly expenses, you need $500,000 invested. 3, we have a history of creating mimbar-centered, pulpit-centered spaces. Even the best schools have moved away from the sage on the stage mentality. I want to pause for a moment and ask you to conduct a thought experiment. If all of the Muslims in the West suddenly disappeared overnight, would we be missed? Would anyone notice? People might find a new doctor. Employers might need to hire a bunch of new engineers. The mango sales and mango commodity stocks would plummet. Would we really have made much of a difference? Would anyone really notice? And the fact is that I wonder, what have we done for the broader community? What have we given back to this society? So one of the best things that a masjid can do is to have a signature service project. Can your masjid support the Houston Food Bank? Every month your team could deliver 2,000 meals. Can your masjid be a platinum partner for Habitat for Humanity? Do we have masjids that stand for wiping out homelessness in San Antonio? Do we have masajids that are committed to ending illiteracy in rural Indiana? What do our masjids stand for? The best thing that you will find is that the people in your community become galvanized around these service projects. It helps keep the community together and it fuels them through other problems. Number 4, briefly. We need people who speak the same language as those we are trying to reach. A basketball court is not and has never been a youth program. And by and large, our Sunday schools have not evolved in 20 years. A Facebook page doesn't make us cool. We desperately need, like the list can go on, but we need, if nothing else, youth ministers. We need people that can act as a bridge between the leadership and the most critical part of the communities. So, in conclusion, remosque.com is a place where you can share your ideas to make the masajid more relevant. And we're not looking for just anything. We're looking for unique ideas, out-of-the-box solutions. Something that you might have tried before, but maybe you didn't get a lot of traction on it. I'll give you an example. One sister was trying to create a prom. It was an all-girls prom in Austin. And she got very little support, but she did it. And she's been doing it for several years. And the girls that participate in that, they love it. And the masajid there have been absolutely abhorred by the fact that they have this. Here's a great opportunity for them to become a relevant part of the Muslim community. That's an idea. Maybe their masjid didn't do it, but you can. To have movies at the masajid, to have actually open, honest discussions about sex education, book clubs, meaningful sermons, job training, counseling, fatherhood groups. My final word is an encouragement just to help our little brother. If you have ideas on how to make the masajid more relevant, unique ideas, interesting ideas, then please post them to our blog. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum.